To the winner, Rina Liebenberg. And Tumlani, it's all yours.
Reino, thank you so much.
Champions, there's Tab Ramos, the USA coach, man born in Montevideo in Uruguay, but naturalized American now. And Julian Lopetegui is opposite number for La Rojita. USA in the red and white hooped shirts. Look at the bench, confirmation of Shane O'Neill not available due to that suspension, but good players on the bench there. Daniel Cuevas can come on, has got good pace. Eric Miller, creative as well. The rest of the squad, 21 players in the squad, are down as the respective substitutes. Referee just awaiting the signal from the sideline that we can get underway. It is just approaching 9 o'clock in the evening local time. It's a very pleasant evening, 27 degrees. A little bit of light breeze in the stadium, which was in evidence in the first match. Temperatures here in Turkey at the moment have been fairly substantial over the last few days. Players have been training in the evening. There is Luis Gil, wearing number 10 for the USA, the Real Salt Lake midfielder. Both his goals came in qualifying against Haiti and Canada. And Barcelona's Gerard Deulofeu will be certainly one to watch here. Only one appearance in this competition so far, but he has played at all levels from under-16 and was the golden player at the under-19 championships in 2012. Gets a little bit confusing when you say that players have made the step up over 12 months. In fact, the UEFA under-19 championships just about to resume once again this year. It's a yearly tournament, but every 2 years it leads to qualifiers for the under-20s. USA getting us underway then in the red and white hoop shirts, kicking from left to right in the first half here at the Ali Sami Yen. Fantastic venue. The biggest crowd in the world here to start the tournament, but I'm sure as the tournament progresses, the Turkish people will come out in numbers to nail their colours to a particular flag. Nicely touched off to Osagueda. Fighting to get into the corner. First touch for Daniel Sotres in the goal, who bears a striking resemblance to Iker Casillas, the famous Spanish goalkeeper for many years, of course. Currently a little out of favour at Real Madrid, but he's been taken to the Confederations Cup, quality keeper. But Daniel Sotres from Racing Santander, one of the successors to Iker Casillas over the years to come, you would feel. There's Hoya. First free kick goes the way of the USA. 9th appearance or 9 appearances rather, in FIFA World Cup finals. Finished third back in the 1930s. Fourth place finish in the under-20s, slightly more recent than that in 1989. Tab Ramos was a great servant to club and country. 81 appearances for the USA. As you can see, we're using the white foam to mark out the wall distance from the free kick, a first in a FIFA tournament. Comes the free kick in from Villarreal. Delafeu. Slip through the legs of Yedlin, who was a touch out of position. Hisse. The ball runs out of play. Delafeu was putting for a corner, but no goal kick given by the referee. There's Cody Cropper, the USA goalkeeper, plays his football in England with Southampton. Gill. Nicely turned, footing was by Campagna. Sotres taking his time in getting rid of this, which is annoying. 1 or 2. Flicks off the head of Juan Bernat. Yedlin with a throw, who didn't expect to be at these championships. Called up late into the squad. Oliver. Comfortably cut out by Campagna. Hernandez.
Va a llegar Mauri, Vidal. Que no salgas de zona. Tú manda José. Es lo de la... Casa. Le abro. Bien.
Spain making their 15th appearance in the finals. Only Brazil have appeared more times. Not here to defend their title, though, Brazil this year. Great ball across, and an early chance, and an early goal for Spain. It's Hesse that scores, completely unmarked. And the last thing the USA would have wanted was to concede early, and that's exactly what's happened. Hesse, the Real Madrid striker, found a little bit of space at the back post and guided the ball past Cody Cropper. And the Spaniards find themselves into an early lead. It was Delafeu waited his moment to play the ball across, and poor defending from the Americans, who will be disappointed with that. Delafeu, the Barcelona man, just got there before Javan Torre. Cropper beaten by Hisse. Considered to be one of the best young players in the world. Called up by Jose Mourinho towards the end of the season at Real Madrid. And now he's got a goal in the Under-20 World Cup finals. Early goal for the Spaniards will settle any early nerves that they might have. Just approaching 6 minutes gone. Yedlin back to Yoya. Back to his goalkeeper by Javan Torre. USA have never won their Continental Youth title. Runners-up on many occasions, as was the case earlier this year. Yedlin tries to get the ball across, but had to play for a goal kick. Plenty of representation in the MLS within the American side. A couple of players that play in Mexico. Hernandez, Osegueda and Yoya all playing north of the American border. "17 of the USA squad of 21 were in the squad for the CONCACAF qualifiers earlier this year. Throw from Osegueda, flicked on, gathered by Sotres. They're appealing for handball. He may have been slightly unsighted, but certainly weren't too many appeals from the players on the field, more from the spectators behind Daniel Sotres' goal. One way by Israel. Here's Suso. Hisei was the player the ball was aimed for. It comes off Yedlin. He's recovered well, though, to win it back from Deulofeu. Manquillo. Campagna. Hisei. Won back by Will Trapp, but given back to the Spaniards. And well, the USA giving the ball away cheaply in their own half, which they won't want to do too much. I'm sure Tabor Amos will be emphasising that point to them when he gets the chance. Forward by Israel to Sol. Hisei. The thumbs up to acknowledge the pass before it reached him, but can't do anything with him. Half cleared by Caleb Stanko. Spain having the majority of the possession here inside the opening 10 minutes. It's the 19th edition of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. 1997 was the first time this tournament was played. Since then it's expanded from 16 to 24 teams back in 1995. Brazil and Argentina, who aren't here, have played the most games in the competition, 96 and 72 respectively. Spain aren't far behind. This is their 68th game in Under-20 World Cup finals. Coincidentally, Spain's biggest win in this competition was 8-0 back in 2009 against, yes, you've guessed it, Tahiti, who were beaten by the Spain first team 10-0 last night. And Tahiti will be hoping to face Spain anytime soon in the future. Spain lead by a goal to 0 here. Hisei, after 5 minutes, putting the Europeans in front. Deulofeu. Again, he manages to get to the byline. Osegueda gets a foot in this time to concede the corner. Hisei's goal coming after just 5 minutes. It's the first corner of the game. Headed away by Torre.
Dale la vuelta si no, No pierdo, no pierdo. Dale la vuelta.
Garcia. Well, the USA just can't hold on to the ball at the moment, giving the possession away again to the Spaniards. And well, they're such great exponents of keeping hold of the ball. Spain, technically very gifted, love to keep the ball on the deck, play those little passing triangles. It's a dangerous ball back towards Hernandez. Derek just about managed to get there first. Manquillo. Well, Yedlin again was the wrong side of Suso that time, but the offside flag goes up over on the far side. Gill thought about trying his lovely ball through, the flag stays down, and it's just wide. What a chance that was. Alonso Hernandez inches away from putting the USA level, and Tab Ramos will be more pleased with that. Set up by Gill, it took a couple of deflections on its way through. Credit to Sotres, who narrowed the angle. Hernandez, who's only got one previous goal for the under-20s, wasn't too far away from a second to level things up, the Monterrey striker. Alarm bells for Spain. Foul on Dani Garcia. Well, that will give the Spanish a little bit of heart. First effort on goal, albeit just wide of the target. Spain trying to hold the line as high as they can. Trap with the free kick. That's a good header. Sotres forced into making the save. Segueda, the player, getting forward. Torre. Yoya towards Garcia. Good header by Manquillo.
No saltéis a destiempo, chicos. Está juntito. Da vuelta, como se quiere. Y la vuelta rápida. Eso es. Dale, vamos.
Delafu beaten to the ball by Segueda. Yoya chipping one forward towards Villarreal.
Bien abierto, bien abierto. Fuera.
This tournament has produced some famous players and some famous names over the years, going back to Diego Maradona in 1979, Marco van Basten in 81, other names that you might remember, Davor Suker, Luis Figo, Fernando Morientes, Michael Owen, Ronaldinho. Kaká featured in 2001 and 6 years later went on to be named World Footballer of the Year, but that doesn't quite match Lionel Messi, three-time World Player of the Year, who won the Golden Ball and the Golden Boot in 2005. Who knows what platform it could be for these young players just really setting out in the professional game. Segueda, Hernandez, Yedlin. Yoya wanted it back, but Yedlin held on to it. Hernandez just showed too much of it to Campaña. Spain win possession back with Oliver. Been at Madrid since Atletico Madrid, that is, Oliver, since 2008. There was the foul. Not too much doubt about that from Hector Yoya. Derek. Nicely done by Hisei. But went for the return. It was just slightly misplaced from Oliver. Hisei had started to come inside, which meant he had to bend his run, and it gave Yedlin the chance to clear. Suso. Garcia. Derek. Campagna. Delofeu. Challenged by Torre, who's pointing at the ball, and the referee agrees. It was Javier Manquillo that had come forward and goes down in the area. I don't think there was a huge amount of contact. Well, there was contact from Javan Torre. Might feel himself a little fortunate there, but Manquillo was quick to go over. The referee well placed to see. Now here's Gil. USA trail by a goal to nil. The goal after 5 minutes from Hisei. Gil. Now Yoya. Funny bit of time in that midfield area, on by Trapp. Now Villarreal. Well, Manquillo stood his ground well, having gone down at the other end a moment or so ago. Wins the ball back for Spain. It's asking a little too much of Bernat. USA had a pretty good qualifying campaign. They won their opening 4 matches. Games in the group against Haiti and Costa Rica. 4-2 against Canada in the quarter-finals, which effectively booked their place at these finals. The 4 semi-finalists from CONCACAF making it through. USA, Mexico, and 2 debutants, Cuba and El Salvador. It was Cuba they beat in the semi-finals, but lost out 3-1 to Mexico after extra time in the final. Shane O'Neill sent off, hence suspended. Here's Delofeu, bustling his way through again. Did well to keep that one in play, and the USA just managed to get the ball clear. Will Trapp back helping out Cody Cropper, his goalkeeper. Delofeu has proved already what a dangerous player he can be. Just signed a new deal at Barcelona to keep him at the club till 2017. Will be the first yellow card of the game for Javier Manquillo. He's got a twin brother, Victor. No case of mistaken identity on this occasion, though, from the referee. It is Manquillo. His brother Victor hasn't quite reached the international levels, but first yellow card of the game for Manquillo. Mind, if you are booked in 2 successive group games, you would miss a subsequent third. Players will be wary of picking up unnecessary yellow cards. 20 minutes gone. Hisei's goal after 5 minutes is still the difference between Villarreal holding his position out on that. Bounces away from him. It was the right idea from Will Trapp. He's the most experienced player, along with Hector Yoya. 37 caps between them in those holding midfield roles for the USA. Yoya, who plays his club football at Santos Laguna, Trapp at Columbus Crew. Very much a stable part of this under-20 setup for the USA. Osegueda. Yoya. Gil. Hernandez. Well, it's a good chance for the USA. Well, it's well blocked. It was good defending in the end that blocked the ball behind for a corner. But that's the second time that the USA have just opened things up a little. Oliver was the player getting across to make the challenge, and Villarreal with a chance to swing over the corner for the USA. Osegueda. The referee had spotted the late challenge, and whistle pierces the night air. Over 75 million people populate the country of Turkey. It's a country that's bordered by 8 others, including Bulgaria, Greece, Georgia and Iraq. Warm Mediterranean waters located down to the south of the country. One of the venues down on that south coast, Antalya, playing host to some games over the weekend. Here's Yoya. It looked like a handball by De La Feu, and the referee agrees. Well, he was claiming he had his shirt tucked. Might be a little fortunate not to get a yellow card, but referee giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Please, guys.
Yedlin. Garcia. Yedlin. It's a good first-time ball in. Sotres just got there first. Ahead of Luis Gil. Campaña.
¡Vamos, vamos! ¡Vamos, vamos! ¡Empuja, tira! ¡No te metas atrás! ¡Ven al equipo afuera! Ahí, que la presencia un poco más alta. ¡Ahí, Tito! ¡Ahí! ¡Ahora! ¡Vas aún!
Trap. That's it back from Osegueda. Gil. Stanko. Foul on Gil by the Spanish captain Campaña. Spain will perhaps be a little disappointed they haven't gone on to find the net again since that opening goal. Have had the better of the possession in the first half. USA have had a couple of half chances. Most of them falling to Alonso Hernandez, who put that shot just wide of the post. Sliding challenge from Trapp, who just caught De La Feu. Hisse. It's not a bad effort from Suso. Sure Cody Cropper knew where his post was there for just a moment. Liverpool midfielder just cutting inside and trying to bend it inside that far post, but it was just off target. Didn't quite bend as much as he would have liked towards the end. This is Spain's 68th game in Under-20 World Cup finals. 39 wins from their previous 67. On by Israel. Manquillo. Suso. Oliver. Derek. Hisei. Deulofeu. Here behind, he's got Saul in the centre. Oh, Hisei was arriving as well, and neither of them could get the touch to send the ball on target. But again, Spain almost catching the USA cold. Great run inside Yedlin, and as the ball came across, it was Hisei that got the final touch in the centre of the two of them. Here's Garcia. Will Trapp. Nicely brought down by De Yedlin. Yoya. Garcia staying out wide. Well, he's won a corner. Danny Garcia, one of a couple of university-based players in the USA ranks at the University of North Carolina. USA played in the Toulon tournament at the end of May, and Garcia scored direct from a corner in a game against Colombia, but that was as good as it got. They lost that game. In fact, they lost 3 of their 4 matches at that tournament. Just flicked off Torre. Campagna's header. Yoya. Villarreal. That's a poor ball from Yoya. It was probably the right idea, just not very well executed by the USA number 8. Talking to a member of the American contingent yesterday, saying that Benji Yoya, as he's known, Hector is his first name, but Benji is the more commonly used name. He's one of the most easygoing members of the squad. Apparently he makes friends with everybody. Said if you get on a bus and you don't know the driver, after the first 5 minutes he's on first name terms. And a friendly character within the ranks of the Mexican-based players tend to have their own little group. They stick together. Yoya, who, as we said, plays for Santos Laguna. Coach says how important he is at the heart of the team. Laid off by Hisei. Sol. Deulofeu went for the placement rather than power, and Cody Cropper makes the save. But once again, the Spanish proving how dangerous they could be coming forward on the break. It's Will Trapp. It's been a decent performance by the USA in the first half so far. They only blipped that early goal they conceded to Hisei. Started to claw back some of the possession, having seen Spain pretty much dominate for the opening minutes. Gil. Villarreal almost found its way through to Hernandez. Here's Yoya. Oh, he caught it well, but not well enough. Just couldn't keep it down. I'll be disappointed again not to have hit the target there, Benji Yoya. Only a half cleared it. It's cleverly flicked to him. It came off the outside of his boots, and of course the problem was poor clearance by Sotres. Villarreal switch sides now. Went for the curler, but it carried on going. He's trying his luck over on this near side, having swapped places with Danny Garcia. Pretty much with the same as before, 5 shots rather from the USA. Only 2 of them have hit the mark so far. It's Hisei's header, that's Segueda. Seven cities being used for this Under-20 World Cup. Suso. Oliver. Suso. Driven in low, it came back off the shins of Javan Touré. Nicely done. Suso with a shooting opportunity, went for the curler and it popped up in front of Cody Cropper, who pushes it behind for a corner. And you can see the goalkeeper's reaction that Suso has allowed that much time and space to get in the shot. You're disappointed that he hasn't got it, just popped up, and it was a strong hand from the goalkeeper to push the ball behind for a corner. De La Fu will swing it over. Ball doesn't look quite like it's in the quadrant. I think the referee spotted it as well. Taken short this time. Ball back to De La Fu, wasn't a good one. Knocked away by Yoya. Oliver couldn't quite keep the ball in play. He's an interesting player, Oliver, the number 16 for Spain. He's been linked a lot in the media in Spain to Xavi Hernandez, so successful, of course, and he says while he's flattered, it's a big mantle to have to live up to, so maybe feels a little bit extra pressure to perform on his shoulders in this tournament. There's Garcia, who's switched back out to this near side. Ran up somewhat up a blind alley there as he got to the edge of the penalty area. Campagna, De La Fu. Campagna spotted the run of Oliver, who's all on his own. Hisei making ground, De La Fu as well. It flicked off the heels of De La Fu, and it might still fall for Hisei, who takes a tumble in the penalty area. And Cody Cropper able to gather the loose ball. Once again, the danger showing from the USA. You just feel they've got that slight more cutting edge in the final third than the USA. You always sense that something might happen when Spain have got the ball. You're not always that confident that the USA are going to end up with a shot on target after their forward moves. As you can see, USA have managed to overturn the possession in the last few moments or so. It was pretty much Spain's game up until this point, and I'm sure the coach will be disappointed to have allowed them back into it. This is Yedlin. Trap, nicely done. Needs a good cross from Yedlin. There's no one in the centre. All the way to the back post. Villarreal was arriving, and it was an important touch away from Manquillo, who just made sure that Villarreal couldn't set himself for the volley. That's good defending. Segueda with the throw. You can guess by the fact there's no one near him, it's going to be a long one into the penalty area. Just too high for Hernandez. Yoya. One back by Campagna, the Spanish captain. Suso. Coolly done to pick out De La Fu. Hisei one side of him, Oliver the other. Try to find Hisei, well blocked by Stanko. Saul helped it out wide. It does eventually find its way through to Oliver, but Yedlin was there with an important interception. He's quite an interesting player, DeAndre Yedlin. He's gone straight from high school into the professional game, missed out the college circuit as he's often the way forward in the USA. Still have the drafting system within the MLS as they do in American football. Always touch and go where the players will be drafted into a particular side. He's found his niche with Seattle Sounders. Here's Suso. Manquillo on the overlap once again, only one in the centre. Can't pick him out. Trap side foots away for a throw.
Mueve, mueve, José, mueve, Saúl. Mueve, José.
Suso. Oh, he's done well. Still going and wants the ball out. He's gone for a corner. Made his way through in the Liverpool first team. Suso. Signed initially by Rafa Benitez, but Benitez actually left the club before Suso signed and didn't find much favour with Kenny Dalglish, but Brendan Rodgers giving him his opportunity this season. Firm header away by Caleb Stanko. Hernandez does well, but Hisei, not only can he score goals, but he can get back and make tackles as well. Really well done. Suso, 6.5 minutes to go to half-time. Spain still leading by that 5th-minute goal from Hisei, the Real Madrid striker. Campagna. Well, Deulofeu waited so he wouldn't be offside, but Stanko read it well and cut the attempted pass out by Campagna, then loses out to Saul.
Aquí a la línea, Gerard. A la línea, descansa aquí, descansa aquí. Descansa ahí, ya está. Ya cerra.
Trap.
Descansa ahí ahora. Déjale, déjale, José.
Stanko.
Ahí Sandra.
Yoya.
Venga, central. Que la tenga central.
You can see his frustration at not having anybody in a forward position to play the ball to, wanting Luis Gil to come a little bit shorter. Yoya. Just overextending slightly. Bernat cuts out the attempted ball to Garcia. Gil. And Trap. Segueda out of position now. Suso. Hisei. Looking to spray it out wide to Manquillo, but good challenging back by Gil, who lost possession in the first place. Now, Villarreal. Yoya outside him, in towards Hernandez. Touch-off wasn't a good one, poor clearance. Luis Gil might run here for Hernandez, flags up for offside. Only just. They've just flicked off a defender as well. Alonso Hernandez didn't manage to hit the target in any case. 2 attempts have hit the mark so far for USA. They've yet to score. Good header on by Saul. Here he is again. Deulofeu. Space on the edge of the penalty area. Brilliant finish! Wonderful goal! And that just emphasises the skill that this man possesses. The only Barcelona man in the Spain squad. And Gerard Deulofeu has curled in an absolute beauty for a second goal for Spain. And after Hisei put them ahead after 5 minutes, it's Deulofeu that puts them further in front just before half-time. He was onside when the ball was played, cut back inside, and you won't see a much better finish than that. Curl beyond Cody Cropper, and Spain lead here by 2-0. And looking to emulate their senior world champions, they look as if they could be heading for 3 points in their opening game at this Under-20 World Cup. Cropper disappointed again that they allowed the space, but take nothing away from the skill from Deulofeu. Dragged back inside, and well, it was a finish to grace any stage And Spain lead here by 2-0, just before half-time, and an ideal time to score a goal. Tab Ramos will be picking his brains on the sideline now, wondering what he can do to get themselves back into this game. They've had half chances, had more of the possession since that opening goal. But they've yet to fully test Daniel Sotres in the Spanish goal, and that will be the most disappointing fact. It's a poor ball from Yoya, given away by Gillen. You simply can't afford to do that against Spain. Deulofeu. Bernat. Well, the fullback's even getting forward now to help out, and they've won themselves a throw. Once again, Deulofeu complaining that he was being fouled. The referee wants nothing to do with it. Juan Bernat with the throw. Again, some inquiring looks at the referee from Oliver, who went over. Gil trying to curl the ball down the line for Hernandez, but he tucked inside, and well, it's comfortable for Sotres in the Spanish goal. Spain well on their way to victory number 40 in the finals. That's good running again by Manquillo. He's all on his own here. Might go on his own, Manquillo. Cleverly done, just showed too much to Stanko. Hisei! It's 3-0. And once again, the USA carved open by Spain. This time it was Manquillo getting forward, and nobody picked up Hisei. And when that ball was played across, cool as you like, Cody Cropper's a big target to beat, but well, Hisei gets his second goal of the game, and Spain make it 3-0 before half-time. Look at the run from Manquillo. Looked as though Stanko might get the ball, but his persistence was key to that goal. Just there, Stanko had the chance to clear, but Hisei took a touch and rolls it past Cropper. That's another quality goal, and Spain lead by 3-0. Ryan Giggs will be impressed with what he's seen from the Spanish side. Into the final minute of the first half, Hisei with 2, Deulofeu with the other. Spain on cruise control at the moment, at the halfway point of the game. Here's Gil. Will Trapp. Now Yedlin. Villarreal. Too close to the goalkeeper again, and Daniel Sotres will pick those off all evening. 14 appearances in the Santander first team, the 20-year-old. 1 minute to be added at the end of the first 45 minutes on what's been a very good first half for Spain. Curled out wide again to Suso, who'll keep it in play. Oliver with the excellent vision. Oh, well done, Suso. Still going. Here's Oliver in the penalty area. Didn't catch it right, and Cropper had to readjust himself and push it behind for a corner. Well, that was almost a fourth. Well, it was Oliver that nearly scored. It was he that started it with that raking ball across field. And the shot bounced and took a deflection off Torre. And Cropper, well, I wouldn't want to be one of his defenders at the moment. The big goalkeeper, very, very vocal. And rightly so. It'll be Suso with the corner. This could be the final action of the first 45 minutes. In towards the head of Campagna. Well, there goes the half-time whistle. Well, nobody expected that. Spain took an early lead, and we would have perhaps expected them to go on, but they allowed the USA back in. But a stunning final 10 minutes of the half has really put the European champions in control of this game in Group A. Without question, the hardest group, and well, they're giving themselves a lead. At half-time, it's the USA 0, Spain 3. Hisei with the opening goal and the third goal right on the stroke of half-time there, the number 10. Competently done. 2 excellent finishes from the Real Madrid striker. In between, the very promising Gerard Deulofeu got the second. Smiles from the Spaniards. Not too many smiles around in the USA camp at the moment. Plenty for them to do and work for Tab Ramos at half-time. Join us again very soon for the second half of this Group A match, where Spain lead the USA at half-time by 3-0. We'll look at the statistics. 51% for Spain, just edging the possession in the end. 8 shots on goal, 6 have hit the target. Not a bad ratio. They've scored 3 times as well. And just the 1 yellow card in the game for Javier Manquillo for that foul in the first half. 6 corners. Cody Cropper's been the busier goalkeeper. 3 saves made by him, just the 1 made by Daniel Sotres, which contributes to the half-time story here, with Spain leading by 3-0.